Welcome to Finnish black metal review here on Rauta. This time it's time to talk about one of the best albums of 2021 so far. This one is Sielunvihollinen with its brand new 2021 album called Teloituskäsky. Kuolonkilometer was their previous one. I was already okay, now I'm missing the names. I'm doing my job badly, which is, I guess, very true. Anyway, here it is. This is very fresh from the oven. It was released on 2nd of April 2021 by Hammer of Hate. And due to the Easter postal services in Finland, this got a little bit of delayed, but doesn't matter. It's only 1 week old. So still very, very fresh from the oven. You can almost smell the fresh baking right here. This is 41 minutes of very melodic black metal. So those who already know the band know what to expect. And obviously these premiering links have been out there for some quite some while. So you can probably or might have already heard the band with this new album. Now a little bit of recap is worth mentioning, even though I just recently reviewed a couple of MLPs of the band, which was later on released on a vinyl. So this band is now roughly 10 years old, and this is their 4th album. And in my opinion, especially with Kuolonkilometer, the 2019 album of the year, by the way, I think the band really kind of secured its position among the best of Finnish black metal bands, at least nowadays, the contemporary bands of black metal scene from Finland. And this 4th album kind of emphasizes the fact that these guys are gold medal standard. Now obviously people who are into melodic black metal, I mean, they will come when listening to this album. It's kind of a given. This is so catchy, so well done and all that stuff. And then again, those who are allergic to melodic black metal, don't waste your time with that. This is not going to change your mind. I'm pretty sure of that. I mean, you can hear hints of dissection in the music. You can even hear a little bit of a epic immortal style with the last track. But mostly it's very much what Sielunvihollinen has been doing all the way since that is very melodic, catchy, black metal, very, very Finnish way. And when I say very, very Finnish way, I mean that to a certain degree. This album sounds almost like this kind of a Finnish rock music, and I'm not talking about now more than hard rock or anything like that. I'm talking about almost this Schlager-like of music, the kind of a traditional Finnish rock music which kind of bleeds of all this melancholy that Finns have, and the kind of stuff you can actually hear in normal radio stations meant for adult people, boomers if you will. Now, this is not obviously a negative thing to say about it, because after all, some songs are hit songs because they're kind of catchy. They have, the way to speak to the people so that the audience is like, yeah, this is a very good songwriting. And this is exactly what Sielunvihollinen is doing, but they are doing in a black metal language, if you will. That is, it doesn't matter if this has kind of a, Suomi rock vibe in its music when it comes to melodies. It's still very, very much, very clearly, very purely black metal. It is just overly melodic, and that's the forte of the band. I mean, the songwriter obviously knows what kind of melodies he wants to do, what is catchy, and what makes these bands very, very good. Now, there are lots of Finnish bands who go melodic, and there are lots of bands who don't go melodic at all, basically. And this is of that style, but say, if you are thinking now, hey, I know Satanic War Master in Finland, it's pretty melodic. Yes, but where Satanic War Master is going to the rawer end of melodies, Sielunvihollinen is more the cleaner and crispier side of that. And as such, they don't have exactly much in common, especially given that we're talking still about melodic black metal. Now, this is not to say that it's not a bad thing to do. I'm just saying these bands have their own niches. And when I say even dissection and types like that, it doesn't mean that this whole album is sounding like dissection. They're just like pointers, like, hey, this reminds me of John Nerdvade riffs. And that's a good thing. Once again, being a big fan of Storms of Lightspan and all that stuff. Now, the only negative side I have to say about this album is that because the previous album was so goddamn good, and even though this is very good an album, this is not as good as the previous one. I mean, probably over the years I might even change my mind over it, and I would say the difference between their two is like this little. So once you have the really good album, can you just do another album that's even better or even the same quality. That's a hard thing for just any band to do. And in my opinion, these are basically as good. So if I would put this into review scores, I would give them the same review score. And exactly what I was doing when, writing my written review for this album, or about this album in a Finnish website. Now, definitely one of the better albums of 2021. Can I say already it's the best one? No, because we're hardly in April 2021. But given that we have only gone this first year less than 4 months, I'm really convinced that this will be one of the albums on top 10 list when the year 2021 is done. And if so, we're gonna have a hell of a year if this kind of album doesn't fit that stuff. So keep your ears open and check out this music. I hope you will love it. For me, it's really, really good, and I feel like I'm going back for it later on. Anyway, take care and see you soon. More reviews coming your way.